We're going live on here as well.
And on TikTok.
Oh wait, we can't even see you. Sorry, my
Probably
big
just
head's
as well. Your massive head. Hi everyone. Hello there.
Hello.
Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us on Coin Bureau Clips and also on TikTok.
Only TikTok.
Welcome everyone. Do we have hello from Portugal? Hello. Thanks everyone. Guess what we're going to be talking about today?
The only thing we can't talk about.
Yeah.
I think there's literally nothing else to.
Yeah, there's not much else that we can really talk about, apart from, of course, to say hello to everyone from Wales and Seattle and Reading and Kuwait and Dublin and Australia, Pakistan. Wow. What about where are people? Hi from Dubai. Hello.
Mexico.
This is amazing.
Diverse.
I know I say this every time, but I love the fact that people got so many people from all over the world.
We actually had a lot of different people.
Nigeria, Eritrea. Wow. We didn't get a country bingo.
What, for this week?
For this week.
I think there's been bigger
there's kind of bigger fish to fry this week, aren't there?
But I was going to say we had quite a lot of people from Europe at not even just Europe, like all over the world from the conference on Saturday.
We certainly did.
Yeah.
We certainly did. Let's quickly talk about the Coin Bureau conference before we talk about
something nice.
More unpleasant matters. But that was what an amazing event that was. Well done, Macy.
Thank you.
Well done for organising that.
I can't believe nothing went terribly wrong. I'm quite surprised.
Yeah, me too. None more so than me. But it was an amazing event. I had so much fun.
Yeah.
And it was just great. I mean, we had some awesome speakers and guests and sponsors.
Yep.
But it was just my personal highlight was just getting out there and meeting all the Coin Bureau fans, because they are so nice amazing. As well. Everyone's really nice.
Really nice, yeah.
Really, really nice. It was an absolute pleasure. So same time next year?
Yes.
Definitely. Same time, same place? I think we'd do it there again, wouldn't we?
I think so, but I think obviously it was our first one, so we've got a lot of things that we can improve on just to make it better. I think next time we will make it slightly bigger, so we use up more rooms in the building so we can have like some different things going on in each area, because we were a bit compressed, weren't we? But I mean, everything else was amazing, so same time next year.
Okay.
I'll see you there.
Looking forward to it. Someone asking, Guy, did you get the much needed hug? Yes, I did. Yes, I did get a much needed hug. I think we've all needed quite a lot of hugs recently, haven't we?
Well, the last couple of days.
Yeah. So let's get into it, folks. Let's talk about the only story in crypto this week. We are coming to the end of what has been probably, certainly for me, and I think for many others, the most traumatic, eventful week in crypto, certainly in recent memory.
Yep.
And I think probably even those of you who've been in crypto from the very beginning, this week is going to be a hard one to beat in terms of just sheer drama, sheer trauma. It's been terrible to see what's happened to Luna. And it's interesting because I remember recently when I was putting a podcast episode together, I was talking to a few friends of mine who've been in crypto for even longer. So I got into crypto I first bought in early 2014. So this was just after Mt. Gox had collapsed.
Yeah.
And it was really interesting talking to people who were sort of in crypto, in Bitcoin at the time that Mt. Gox was collapsing. And I think it provides some interesting context for the moment that we find ourselves in at the moment, because a lot of people were saying, a lot of people talked about at the time, it's like, we kind of knew that all wasn't right with Mt. Gox, but we just sort of thought it was going to be okay. And then all of a sudden, it collapses. Lots of people lost a lot of money. Similar situation to what we've seen over the past few days. And then with retrospect, you look back and you think, there were red flags there and we should have paid more attention to those. So, I can see a lot of people asking, do I hold Luna? Well, I did, and not anymore. It made up about a little over 2% of my portfolio. I did hold a fair bit of UST as well. Now, basically, the Luna has gone to zero. I didn't sell out of that in time. The UST, I sold most of it off between sort of 70 and 90 cents.
Okay.
And that did not feel good at the time, as you can imagine. It feels a lot better in retrospect, of course.
Knowing, yeah.
But yeah, I'm sure a lot of you were in a similar kind of, in a similar situation, really, thinking, do I sell now? Is it going to go back up? And I took the difficult decision to sell out. And I mean, I guess it's been kind of vindicated more recently. So yeah, it's been really, really tough, and I've taken a fairly big hit from it, but not as big a hit as I'm sure many people out there have. Were you in Luna or UST at all?
No.
Okay.
No. So, good. But I mean, I was saying to you earlier, like, I'm just so surprised because it was one of those. It's not a shit coin. It was one of those projects that had really big potential, and it was decent. So I just, if it was something else, I might be like, oh, okay, it's not that big. We kind of knew it wasn't that great, but this was something that was. Yeah. So.
Again, I think in retrospect, we're going to have to trawl back through what we our research that we did when we were putting together our Luna videos, because like I'm not gonna shy away from it. I was bullish on Luna, and I said Luna and UST were a couple of cryptos that I would hold during a bear market, and I have been proved very, very wrong on that. And I don't mind admitting it, because we all do make mistakes, and this has been a pretty costly one for me and for many other people. So I hold my hands up, and I must admit that I didn't see it coming. I don't think many people did. However, we got to be aware of the fact that the failings of Terra were pointed out, and this is something I want to talk about a little bit later on, because I think in light of this has been such a disaster. This has been such a mess that I think the only way that we can pull anything positive out of this is to make sure that we learn from the experience, because if we don't, then we will end up making the same mistakes again, and that would be a real crime. So I think basically what I want to talk about today on the stream is what have we learned from this whole catastrophe, and how can we stop it happening again? So I'm just having a look at comments now, and I think people are. I mean, the opinions are divided, aren't they? A lot of people always thought apparently that Luna was not up to the job, and a lot of people felt quite the opposite.
Do you think? What do you think is the main thing now? Looking at it from what's happened, what would you say is like the biggest red flag? Because I know you were saying earlier about there being just that one person.
Yeah, I suppose that's a good place to start. I think one of the things I've been thinking about this a lot over the last couple of days. The past couple of mornings, I've woken up very, very early, about an hour before my alarm, not being able to get back to sleep, and just sort of gone and sat and kind of thought about it all. And one of the things that I think I'm going to change about the way I research a project and the way I evaluate a project for possible investment is I'm going to take more of a look into who's running the show. And obviously we say this in the context of Do Kwon, but I think the whole Do Kwon thing, the whole controversy around him, raises an important question. And I think a big red flag, or a potential red flag about any project, should be, is there one kind of godlike figure at the top, which I think a lot of people kind of took Do Kwon to be. And I mean, as we've seen, sort of feet of clay over the last few days. But I mean, because obviously this points to centralization in a way, doesn't it? If there's just one person at the top of a project sort of taking the decisions and seen to be in charge, then that would suggest that the project is not decentralized enough, however many validator nodes it may have, however large the company, however many developers or however many users, that if there's one person very much king of the castle, then that is a form of centralization. And I've actually been discussing this. I've been putting together a video recently all about what decentralization actually means, because it's a very nuanced topic. It's a very nuanced word, so keep a lookout for that, because I think that's going to be especially pertinent in light of what we've seen recently. So yeah, I think, and I think personally that this is something that you can point to the likes of, well, both Satoshi and Vitalik, I think, were well aware of this. I mean, I think personally that could be one of the reasons why Satoshi chose to step back from Bitcoin, because he or she realized that having one figure at the top is not the way to do it.
Yeah.
And would be detrimental to the project. So I think that could be one particular reason, and it's something Vitalik has realized as well. And he and the rest of Ethereum have gone to great lengths to decentralize in the years since its launch. And obviously, you know, if something were to happen to Vitalik now, that would not be good for Ethereum in the short term, but I have no doubt that it would recover pretty quickly, and the momentum behind the project would keep going. And I think Vitalik should be applauded really for taking those steps to not make himself too much of a too central a figure. Yeah, a figurehead, exactly. And I think this is something that we need to look at as part of this post-mortem. Do Kwon was very much, you know, the public face of Terra. And unfortunately, I mean, the way he's behaved, certainly on Twitter over the past few months, I think is instructive as well, because, I mean, let's not put too fine a point on it. He's behaved like a bit of a prick.
Yeah. And
I do wonder, when, you know, all this stuff was going down, when stuff was collapsing, did Do Kwon find that he'd basically evaporated a lot of potential goodwill?
Well, maybe.
Yeah.
Because if something like this happens, you probably reach out to other people in the community, and if he's burnt bridges, I mean, where's he going to go?
Yeah. My dad has a saying. My dad has a lot of sayings, doesn't he? But my dad,
is this a different one?
A different dad. No. Different saying. My dad, one of my dad's favorite sayings is, be nice to people on the way up, because you meet them again on the way down.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
And that is, yeah, my dad says a lot of stuff, but that is very, very true. And I think that's that Do Kwon should probably have taken on board. And I see quite a few people in the comments mentioning Andre Cronje, and I think that's absolutely right. Not to suggest that he's a prick or anything like that, but again, he's a figure that's been central to a lot of projects, and a lot of projects have found that a lot of projects have actually disappeared now that he's kind of walked away from them.
Yeah.
So again, this idea of having one central figure, one kind of godlike figure, I think that is a red flag that we need to pay a lot more attention to. And for every project that I research from now on, that is one of the questions I'm going to be asking myself, like, who is in charge? Who is the figurehead? And if there is a figurehead, is that a good thing?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's one really important lesson to take away from it. Someone asking Ada and Hoskinson. I think that's a very good question. Like, is Charles Hoskinson too central to Cardano? And I think, I'm sure I'm sure you could argue either way on this, and I'm sure Charles himself would argue that the Cardano team is a lot more than just him. But again, it's a question that we have to ask ourselves, and I guess we have to kind of go into hypotheticals a little bit and say, well, if something was to happen to Charles Hoskinson, how do we see Cardano going from there? And I don't have an answer to that, but I think it's something that we definitely should consider as part of a thesis. Ditto Gavin Wood. How central is Gavin Wood to Polkadot? And I think there's you can ask the same questions about a whole load of projects in the space. So so that's one of the harsh lessons I think we need to ask ourselves. Need to take.
Another thing, because obviously it's gone to zero. And it's been delisted off of a lot of exchanges. Is that never coming back? Can't come back? Or
I've got to be straight up with you here, folks. Now, and this is my personal opinion. And look, I've been proved wrong on Terra and UST. So take this with as much salt as you like. I personally do not believe that Luna can come back from this. I think that Luna has gone to zero, and I don't think it can be resurrected. I'm not sure. I think they're going to struggle to find VCs willing to pump enough money in to refloat it. And I think because the brand itself is irreparably tarnished. I think there are two hopes basically for the Terra project at the moment: the developers and the community. And as I think I said earlier, Terra does have some amazing developers working for it. Let's put Do Kwon to one side now, and the more senior team.
Do you think he like maybe step aside or something?
Do Kwon, I think, is anything he touches is not going to do very well. So I think we can park him for the time being. So as I say, that Terra has got an amazing team of developers working on it, and it also has got an amazing community. And like I say, I think these are the two great strengths of the project. I mean, really, this all that the project has left at the moment. So what I'm thinking is that there is a chance, I think, that some of those developers in that community could choose to basically rebuild Terra from the ground up, start at square one, start right from the beginning again, and rebuild. And I think it would be a very different beast to what Terra is now. And I think that would be, that would be a great thing to see if they could rebuild it, and if people could sort of regain trust.
I think it'd have to be rebranded and everything, though. There's a lot of things.
I think, image is everything, even in crypto. Crypto's no different. And so, I don't think we will see Terra and Luna back in their current state. I mean, I guess the two counter arguments to what I'm saying is, I guess from a community side, I mean, let's face it, the Terra community has taken a massive hit. There are going to be some people in very dire financial straits. And I mean, I guess, are they going to be too demoralized to pick it back up again? Are they going to move on to other things? And I should say that if you are a lunatic, if you are a member of the Terra community, and you're feeling washed out, you're feeling pretty bad at this time, I would say, please, get some this is bad, but life goes on. So I know we've been hearing some terrible things recently, and I've been seeing some terrible things on Twitter and the Luna Reddit and various other places. I know some people are in a very dark place at the moment. So please, folks, there is more to life. There is more to life than crypto. You will get through this. Things will get better. So please do bear that in mind, and remember, you're not alone. There are lots of places that you can turn to help, and the rest of the community is there for you. So it will be interesting to see how the Terra community responds to this. I also think, from a developer point of view, let's face it, every crypto project out there is scrambling to get their hands on as many developers as possible. This is something that I talked about at the conference in one of the speeches that I did on Saturday. One of the big problems that the crypto industry faces at the moment, one of the most pressing, is the fact that there aren't enough developers. They can't build these things quick enough. And I do wonder whether a lot of Terra developers have been snapped up by other projects. So whether that leaves enough of a pool of devs to resurrect Terra, and whether those devs have the energy, have the drive to do so, I don't know. But in answer to a lot of people's questions, I think I'm fairly certain this is it for Terra in its current form. I mean, like I say, I could be wrong. Will UST regain its peg? I don't think so. But I know there are a lot of attempts being made to try and do that. That requires an awful lot of capital, and again, I can't say with any certainty, but I'm not all that optimistic.
Do you think it had? Because I saw obviously yesterday BlackRock were tweeting that they had nothing to do with it all, but do you think they were in on it somehow?
I'm not gonna. I can't. I don't want to sort of speculate on names. I mean, a lot of you will have seen. I think it was either BlackRock or Blackstone and Citadel. I've seen these rumors as well. I know Charles Hoskinson, among others, posted these rumors. We don't know. We don't know, and I don't think we are going to know if we ever know for sure. Certainly not for a while, because I think we're going to be raking over the ashes of this one for a good few, a long time, trying to figure out exactly what happened. So, yeah, I am aware that there are these rumors. My personal belief is that, I think there probably were people who kind of piled in, short sold Luna on the way down to make a bad situation worse. But that is very much speculation on my part, and I know a lot of the rest of the crypto community is speculating that way as well. So without any kind of concrete evidence, it's very difficult to say. My theory is that Terra basically got stuck in this death spiral, the crash of the market caused by all the macro factors, because I think really this is a fallout from the macro picture. As I said in a video yesterday, this macro outlook is the worst since 2008. Okay. We have not been in a worse kind of global economic situation for years.
Yep.
And that, I think, is the principal reason that started this whole thing off. And the fact that the value of Luna tumbled, people became worried about UST slipping off its peg, which basically led to a bank run on UST. This, of course, saw more Luna minted, which then pushed the price of Luna still further. Yep. And obviously, this kind of death spiral is very, very difficult to get out of. And Luna didn't manage it, despite obviously they had to dump all their Bitcoin. They basically emptied the clip on that. I think they also had a fair bit of AVAX as well, a fair bit of Avalanche. So I think that was part of the reason why Avalanche suffered quite badly in the downturn.
And Anchor Protocol as well.
And of course, people frantically withdrawing their money from Anchor Protocol. And again, Anchor Protocol is another question we should be asking ourselves. And again, I'm kind of kicking myself in a way, because 20% interest rate. I mean, so many people, myself included, were kind of seduced by that. But I remember saying in a stream a couple of weeks ago, I think someone was asking whether I use Anchor Protocol, and I did. I did have some UST there, but I didn't have an enormous stack, because I like to keep my portfolio diversified, because basically of risks like this, portfolio protocol specific risks, project specific risks. So my hit from Anchor Protocol wasn't too bad for that reason, and that is why I only had a little bit on, tempting as it was. And I was tempted several times to lump more UST into Anchor in order to earn that interest. Because
I was thinking about putting a lot of in there, so thank God.
I mean, who doesn't get attracted by those sorts of rates?
Yeah.
So, but then you look back and you think, well, so many of and I'm not saying Anchor Protocol was a scam, but so often when you look back, you see, a red flag should be, are they offering a crazy return? Is a project offering a crazy return? Because if it is, it's probably too good to be true. And in this case, it turned out to be. So, look, I may have been in crypto for a few years now, but I'm still learning lessons as I go along. And I think basically this weekend, I'm going to be asking myself a lot of searching questions about, did I let my guard slip on this one? I think I did.
I mean, I don't think you can, because it just happened and it was so quick.
Yeah.
I mean, I was up last night looking at the charts, and I was just like, what the hell is going on? I was on Twitter, looking through threads, and just I don't think anyone could have predicted it. And for it to it was insane. It just dropped. On the chart you can see the thing just like a cliff edge of where it went down. So I mean,
it's a lot of people. I think a lot of people. There's a lot of gallows humor out there, which I'm sort of enjoying in a way. But a lot of people, I think, are going to be printing that chart off and framing it or minting it into an NFT. And I think that's actually a good thing, because I think that's, I'm tempted to do it myself, because it'll remind all of us that even a top 10 crypto can go to zero almost overnight. And I think that's a lesson that we all need to bear in mind.
Definitely.
So what else have we learned? Now, this is obviously I'm very cheered by all the messages. Well, most of the messages in the comments. Lots of people. Yes, not financial advice, everyone. Mm-hmm. As we know. A lot of people being very supportive So thank you, and yeah, be supportive to people who
To other
got
people
wrecked
as well.
on Luna. One of the things that annoyed me the most. I mean, I'm not all that surprised, but one of the things that did disappoint me the most was the Schadenfreude that we saw from people who weren't in Luna or
I've seen that as well.
Various description.
Yeah, I've seen that.
That doesn't help, folks.
No.
That doesn't help. We are one crypto community, and we're a broad church, and some people will go into battle for one project, and some people will go into battle for another. But remember, we're all crypto, folks.
Yeah, we're in the same bubble, so let's.
Yeah. So you may have thought Luna was a shitcoin all the way along, and yeah, you may be feeling a little smug at the moment, but don't, because it's pride comes before a fall. It's probably something my dad says.
Probably, yeah. It sounds like a quote.
The the quote factory that is Guy's dad. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the other points I want to make, at the risk of stating the absolute bleeding obvious, a couple of important lessons to take from this. The first one is, don't risk more than you can afford to lose. I have been heartbroken seeing some of the stories of Luna and UST holders and seeing how much they lost.
Yep.
It is horrible to see. Please, folks, take the lesson from this. Don't put in more than you can afford to lose. People putting their life savings on Luna, people selling houses to go all in on Luna, people college funds on Luna. You can't afford to lose your house. You can't afford to lose your life savings. You can't afford to lose your kids' college fund. So don't put them on. The whole thing's on anything.
No.
So yeah, that's something to bear in mind. Please, folks, don't only invest what you can afford to lose, whether it's in crypto, whether it's in stocks, whether it's in water purification tablets. I don't know. So please bear that in mind, folks. And tied into that, of course, is diversification as well. I think I just want to give you a little insight into how my portfolio is weighted at the moment. This is something that I put out kind of every week in my weekly newsletter. And I share basically all the sort of movement in my portfolio. But a sort of a kind of bird's eye glance, my portfolio at the moment is ETH 33.5%, BTC almost 24%, Sol 7.5%, DOT 5.45%, Atom 4%, and yeah, Luna, for context, was just under 2.5%. And obviously there are lots of other cryptos in there of smaller percentages than those. So yeah, if I hadn't been more diversified, then I'd be staring a lot bigger loss, staring down the barrel of a much bigger loss at the moment. So please, folks, I know you may get excited by a particular project. You may think a particular project is amazing and going to the moon, but you have to hedge your bets. And that is what any investor who has been investing for any length of time will tell you. You need diversification. And again, this is not just the case for crypto, it's true everywhere. Yeah. So again, this is something I think if people out there can have this lesson kind of hammered home to them, then we can salvage something out of this whole mess. So please, don't invest more than you can afford to lose, and diversify. And of course, that points to a wider portfolio as well. Don't have everything in crypto. It's perfectly okay to have investments elsewhere. You may be a gold bug. You may be into stocks and shares. It's not for me to tell you what to invest in or not to invest in. But yeah, again, it's very, very risky. You're setting yourself up for a fall if you're not diversified enough. So someone who has most of his net worth in crypto. But as you can see, that is pretty well divided. Yeah. So yeah, that's another lesson that we can take from all this.
Do you think, because I know like the prices dropped on obviously like Bitcoin and stuff yesterday as well, they've crept back up. Do you think it's going to push down more?
So what the current sort of state of the market?
Yeah, and I mean, would you? Yeah, we're in a.
We are definitely in a bear market, folks. I know I've been sort of hesitant about saying this over the last few weeks and months, but we are now. I was waiting for consistently lower lows, and well, Luna kind of pulled the rug out there. Yeah. So yeah, we are in a bear market, folks. And I know it's an odd thing today, isn't it, to see prices up so much. And I think this is something of a relief rally. It's a fascinating kind of insight for me into the way that the free market works, in a way, because I think there is a sense, looking at the markets, there does seem to be a sense that something bad has been flushed out.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why we're seeing the relief rally today.
Yeah.
I think there is still a lot of volatility ahead, and bear markets are really, really tough times, but they are amazing opportunities as well. And I don't know, I wish it hadn't come about with such a kind of cataclysmic event, but I will say that I am sort of, in a way, relieved that we're in a bear market now,
mm-hmm.
because we knew it was coming.
Yep.
And I think now that we are in it, we can kind of step outside, take a more objective overview, let that hype go and start building for the future.
Yep.
And I think if you want, that could start with a bit of dollar cost averaging, because I think that's definitely going to be my strategy over the next few weeks and months. I am thinking of DCAing into some. I sold the UST that I liquidated around sort of 70 and 90 cents. That went into BTC and ETH.
Okay.
It was a little bit of a panic buy, but actually in retrospect, I'm glad I did it.
Yeah.
So not financial advice, of course. But yeah, so I think it's, the markets are kind of weird at the moment. It is good to see some green, but we are in a bear market. And yeah, I think an important thing to remember about a bear market is don't go too heavily into alts. Okay, we're going to see, I think, lower lows. I don't think we've got to the bottom.
No, I don't
think
either.
We've touched the bottom yet. So yeah, these next few weeks and months are going to be really tough. How long is the bear market going to last? I don't know. When are we going to get into an accumulation phase? It's hard to say. Mm-hmm. So again, as I think I've said a few times, if you're unsure of what to do at the moment, then probably the best idea is to do nothing.
Yeah.
Hold fire. And if crypto's getting you down, now this is something I say all the time, if crypto's getting you down, have a cup of tea, wait for this whole thing to blow over. Yeah, walk away for a little bit, shut the portfolio, delete the portfolio tracker app. You can always reinstall it in the fullness of time.
Yeah.
And go out and get some fresh air. It's spring. It's a lovely day here in the UK, isn't it?
It is a nice day today, actually.
So
go for a walk.
Yeah. Plant veggies, Max says. Good idea, Max. Yeah.
Why not?
Plant some veggies. Someone else say, when Lambo? Might be a while. Not anytime soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. A cup of tea solves everything, says Claire. Claire knows.
Claire knows.
Claire understands.
Claire's got it on the head.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's. I think also one of the reasons we might be seeing a slight bounce in the market today is Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell has had his re-nomination confirmed. Now, this might not seem particularly groundbreaking, but it does bring a little bit of certainty back into the markets. I don't think there was any real doubt that he wasn't going to be reconfirmed, but these things, this is a political appointment, so perhaps there's always room for a bit of uncertainty. But yeah, I think that's a reason that we're seeing the markets bounce a little bit today, is that we've just had a little bit of certainty around Jay Powell. He's back in post for, I can't remember how long his tenure lasts. A long time, I think. I think we're stuck with Jerome for a while, which means, of course, further interest rate rises. Haven't talked about interest rates once so far on this live stream.
No.
I could just feel a little bit of you dying. Interest rates are going to keep going up. This ties into the global macro picture that I've been going on about for months now. Mm-hmm. And again, this means that, 4 years, someone's saying. Jerome Powell is in for 4 years. Okay. Well, I hope he's got a comfortable chair. That was a dad joke, wasn't it? That's been scoffed at with genuine contempt here in the Coin Bureau office. No respect. So bottom till next halving. Yeah, we're a way out from the next halving, the next Bitcoin halving, which many people believe will be the start of the next bull run, which means we have got a good couple of years. So dig in, folks. We're here for the long haul. I must say, I'm really pleased, surprised and delighted to see how many people are joining us today, because let's face it, search trends for crypto have been really in the toilet for weeks now, months now.
Yeah.
A lot of fleeting interest has evaporated. So it's great to be back here live with some of the hardcore crypto people. It takes more than an absolute catastrophe to deter you folks, doesn't it? I respect that. I respect that. Yeah, okay, we're top 10 cryptos just gone to zero.
Oh, great.
Loads of people have lost a whole load of money. We're in a bear market. Yeah, I'm still going to watch Coin Bureau's live stream. Heck yes.
Well, it's gonna, like
I'm
you
still
said,
going to watch those two blither on.
Oh my gosh, I know. But I mean, it's like you said, these things happen, and we're bound to hit something like this with the last few years.
Yeah.
The government's giving out massive lots of money, inflation's going up, stocks and crypto will always get affected.
Yeah.
So literally, yeah, I know it sounds bad and it's not great, but it's going to be bad for a while, and then it will pick up.
Yeah.
Because like that happened when I was invested the first time. Something similar happened, and everything went so, like, my Ethereum was basically nothing, and I was panicking, withdrew my money, and didn't know anything about the markets at this point. And the same thing happened, and it gradually picked up again, and then went mad. So had I have just stuck in there and
diamond hands.
Yeah, exactly.
Diamond hands.
Well, I won't do that now, obviously, but like, I'm just saying, for people who, I've got a lot of comments on like TikTok from people who are quite new investors, and you know, it's like, oh, it's a scam, and I remember feeling like that the first time I invested. So I was like, my money's going, like, what's going on? And then pulled out, and it went up, and it's not going anywhere. Like Bitcoin and Ethereum especially, they're not going anywhere. Like, they're here. So just
stay strong, people.
Just stay strong, breathe, everything will be okay.
We're preaching to the converted here, because Coin Bureau fans know that. Coin Bureau fans know to stay strong.
Yeah, die hard fans.
They're a hardcore bunch of people. I tell you what, I've met a few of you in the flesh now, and not only are you all lovely, but you're all hardcore as well.
Yeah,
I respect that. I really respect that. So yeah, again, yes, everyone. I'm just looking through the comments here. Everyone is really positive, and you should be, folks, because there's a lot to be positive about. I've been, I don't know, I wouldn't say enjoying, but I saw a good few pieces in the media, in the mainstream media recently, that predictably come out at times like this. Crypto is dead, you know, this marks the end, you know, the great crypto experiment, blah blah blah. And you know what I've decided to do is that I'm saving all of these pieces, and I'm saving them to Arweave. Okay. The decentralized storage solution.
What are you doing?
Well, no, because I'm just saving them, because when everything picks back up again, however long that will take, when crypto just blasts off to the moon again, we can enjoy ourselves kind of reading through all those crypto is dead articles,
NFT them,
and NFT them, and then basically sort of fire them back to their authors with "This has aged well?" ? Written underneath. So please do that as well, folks. Yeah. Don't be afraid to. I know a lot of people kind of see these pieces in the mainstream media and kind of just dismiss them. Or I actually quite like to read them, because, well, for one thing, I think it's interesting to see, to kind of gauge how, you know, people in the media actually how well they understand crypto, and some of them seem to have a pretty good grasp of it. And then you read someone who you quite respect. You know, there are a number of writers I've looked at over the past few days, and sort of writing about it, especially about Terra and UST, which, you know, is a bit deeper knowledge than kind of Bitcoin and Ethereum. And I was reading through, and I was like, yeah, you don't quite understand how this works.
Yeah, I think it's writing it from a perspective of someone who genuinely has no idea. So.
And I must say, I have sympathy with them, because when I started in crypto, you know, it was kind of like, what, you know, not having a sort of coding background, a particularly technical background of any sort. It took me a while to get my head around it, and it's one of the things that kind of inspired me to do this, because I thought, you know, I really want to understand it, and I really want to understand it in a way that I can then explain it to other people, because Someone once said, it wasn't my dad actually, but someone once said, you don't really understand something if you can't explain it simply to someone else. If anyone knows, I mean, that's not a direct quote, but if anyone knows who said that or something like it, please let us know in the comments. But yeah, so, and actually it reminds me of another sort of tough time, and it's really kind of important at this, you know, resilience is such an important thing at times like this, and thinking, you know, not despairing, not throwing in the towel, throwing your cards on the table and walking away. It's thinking, how can we react? How can we get through this tough time and come out stronger? And actually Einstein. Okay. Well done. Thank you very much. Yeah, I remember actually when we started the Coin Bureau, some of you may know that Coin Bureau originally started as a website. It was just an educational website where we would put up articles about crypto, and we were doing really, really well. I think if you typed in cryptocurrency education or something similar, we were on page 1 of Google for a bit, and it was amazing. And we were getting, you know, thousands of hits a week, a day, I think. It was such an amazing time. And we'd worked really hard to get it there. And then overnight, Google's algorithm changed. There was no warning of this at all. Google's algorithm changed, and we went to page, I don't know, like, well, anything after page 1, and you basically don't exist. I think it was either page 5 or page 8 or something like that. We basically disappeared. Yeah. And those were a few really, really tough days. And I remember getting on a Skype call with my fellow writers, you know, the other guys who still run Coin Bureau to this day with me. And we were on a Skype call, and we were discussing what we could do, and were there any SEO strategies, you know, how are we going to tweak our SEO strategy so we could be, you know, found again, so we could get ourselves up. Were we just going to have to put out more content every single week? We were already writing a lot. All of us were contributing a lot. And then I suggested that we maybe try putting some of our stuff on YouTube. And
lo and behold,
the rest is history.
Here you are.
So, yeah, that's basically one of the biggest humble brags you'll ever see, won't it? But isn't it? But, yeah, at times of adversity, folks, it's tempting to despair, but actually it's the best thing that you can do is retrench, reevaluate, and come back stronger, come back just windmilling those arms into life.
Do some more research take your time doing more research as well.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to do, I think. And learn a lot more.
Just learn.
Just cram everything in there.
And again, that's kind of another good thing about a bear market, I think, because when everything's flying, when we're in the midst of a bull run, it can be so
like the FOMO,
frantic. Yeah,
and you're like,
FOMO takes over.
Yeah, put money in, and then you don't actually take time to, like you said, look back and evaluate everything.
Yeah.
Do your own research properly. You hear somebody like, oh, I'm making money on this coin, and it's like, oh, the FOMO is real, like throw some money in there. And I think, like you said, good time to sit back and watch some of your videos. Actually.
Yeah, exactly. This is great, folks. This is an ideal time to catch up on all the Coin Bureau content that you haven't managed to watch yet. And again, I think this is going to be really, really, this is going to be a period of retrenchment and rebuilding. And I think it's a great opportunity to filter out some of the noise, filter out the hype, and get on with researching the projects that you're interested in, thinking as carefully as you can about your investments, because I mean, again, going back to what's just happened over the last few days, I think we've all learned, I know I have, some valuable lessons from this whole terror debacle. And it's going to make me even more thoughtful about what projects I invest in and how much I invest in them. Did we get a moustache there?
Yeah, somebody just put a moustache.
Wow.
And a cowboy.
Who said it was all doom and gloom? Eh?
Sorry.
So please, folks, treat this bear market, because we are in a bear market, in case I hadn't already made that clear. Treat this bear market as an opportunity, because that's exactly what it is. And this was something that I was talking about on Saturday with Rob from Digital Asset News, which if you don't watch Digital Asset News, folks, subscribe, because Rob is amazing. His live streams are brilliant, and one of the nicest people you could possibly meet as well. I was a little bit starstruck when
I know.
When I met him.
I saw him outside, and I was like, you've seen someone on the screen.
Yeah.
And then obviously I'd kind of spoken to him a bit. I was like, oh, hey,
yeah,
you. And he's really very calm. And
he's very Texan.
Yeah. Super like chill.
Yeah.
Hey, mate. So I was like, oh my god.
He reminded. I think if he grew his hair long and grew a beard and a dressing gown, he could look like the Big Lebowski. He definitely sort of have that that kind of Jeff Bridges vibe. Yeah, a really nice guy and very, very knowledgeable as well. But yeah, when we sat down and had a little fireside chat at the conference last weekend, that's very much what he was saying. You know, it's about planning. It's about you know, getting your strategy right, and a bear market is the ideal opportunity to do that. So please, folks, as I say, and as Rob would say too, I'm sure, treat the next few months, years as an opportunity, because that's exactly what they're going to be.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. How are people getting on in the comments? Whoa, you're live. Wow. Yes, we are. Yeah. Why do I look very red? I saw someone in the comments earlier saying I looked like I was about to cry.
You do look really red here, but you don't look very red here.
Yeah. That's odd, isn't it? It's obviously this weird camera that we've got on.
But I look very similar.
Suspicious.
Anyway.
I haven't been out in the sun. Q4 is the next pump. For how long the bear market? I don't know, Marissa. It could be a couple of years.
Somebody keeps commenting this.
Can we? Oh yes, sure thing. Sorry, someone just asking me a question off camera. What were you?
Oh, I can't read it out loud.
Oh goodness, it was too.
It's very, very controversial.
It's a camel market. Okay, interesting. Oh, because of the all right. I mean, we were in a kangaroo market until quite recently, but yeah, now we're in a. Yes, I've just seen the comment. I can't read out either.
Is it the one about me?
It might be, yeah.
Oh my god.
Folks, really.
Is someone in the office?
Yeah, is that someone in the office?
I see you
James
there.
over there. Yeah, goodness me. Should I go back to work at McDonald's? Oscar, I can't tell you. I'm sure there are better opportunities for someone like you out there. But yeah, go back to work, accumulate, invest carefully. Yeah, you can do it, man. You can do it. Is this a crab market? Is this live stream descending into basically calling this market after different types of animal? I think we could be in a badger market, perhaps. I don't know what a badger entails. I'm just speculating. I'm just pure speculation. What sort of market would, apart from a bull market, what sort of market would people like to find ourselves in? A lot of people saying buy the dip. Yeah, I mean, like I say, I think we could see some more lows over the coming weeks. Definitely more volatility. This a poo head market, old Max.
Oh my god! Do you know what we are in though?
My nieces seem to have got control of the comments. What?
We're in lunar eclipse period.
Tell us all about the lunar eclipse. Not that sort of lunar.
No. But we are. We're having a lunar eclipse on Sunday, so we're in the period beforehand where the moon and the stars and everything is going crazy. But doing that's weird.
That is certainly coincidental.
And Luna.
You've been talking to Maren Altman again, haven't you?
I was watching one of her videos. Yeah, I was.
The wonderful Maren Altman, who was also at the conference and gave a really amazing talk, and is also a really cool and lovely person.
Yeah, she was really nice.
Yeah.
Everyone was really nice there, actually.
Yeah.
It was lunar eclipse.
Okay. Well.
So, guys.
Luna certainly has been eclipsed.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah. It's another. Yeah, that dad joke has also gone down like a depth charge here at HQ. Look, what can I? I'm the oldest person here. What can I do? Okay, folks. So yeah, I mean, there's not an awful lot else to talk about. One of the other things, of course, I want to point out, another lesson that we need to take from this whole debacle is, and you'll have heard me say this before as well, please don't trade with leverage. Okay. Because that's been something particularly painful and also a bit annoying to see over the past couple of days. People trying to trade this absolute, this disaster. And yeah, I've seen a lot of people posting pictures of their screens and how they've been cleaned out. And yeah, I don't like to see people losing money in any situation. But folks, if you are going to trade with leverage, then it is just gambling. And it's very, very dangerous. And it basically leverage trading is something that the big beasts do. The venture capitalists, the hedge funders, the bankers. So leave it to them, because they can keep it, to be quite honest. And if they want to get wrecked, then that's entirely on them. And of course, there is a lot of speculation as well. Again, this is just sort of speculation at this point, but something I'm going to be looking into over the next few days. Of course, the VCs kind of behind Terra. There was a lot of institutional money in Terra. And it's not just retail who's suffered. It's not just you and me who've suffered from this.
Yeah.
Lots of VCs have lost an awful lot of money. And I think Jump Capital was one of the ones mentioned. And obviously Jump was only sort of just recovering from the Wormhole Bridge exploit back in February. So I'm not going to say spare a thought for the VCs, because they're big and ugly enough to look after themselves. But some of them will have taken an absolute hammering over the past few days as well. Again, I'm just so heartened to see so many people joining us today. And again, from all over the world. It's amazing. It's absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much for, Do you think Luna can go back up? I think this is something I should answer again. I spoke about this a little bit earlier, and should probably touch on it again for anyone who's sort of joined us more recently. No, I don't think Luna can come back from this. And like I said earlier, I am totally prepared to be proved wrong, and kind of part of me hopes I am.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, this is a tanking that is kind of almost unprecedented, really, even in crypto, certainly for such a massive project almost overnight. I don't think Terra and Luna can come back from this. And as I said before, I think that's partly because there's so much money will need to be pumped in to refloat it. I'm not sure there are any VCs who are going to be willing to take that risk.
Well, no, because it could just happen.
Again, and again, I think it goes back to the question of what I was saying about the brand. Terra's brand is, I think, it's not going to be easy to salvage that. So, but a lot of people saying, well, will it come back in some other form? And as I said before, I think, it depends very much on the developers and the community, the Terra devs and the Terra community, which are Terra's greatest asset. I mean, they were its greatest asset all along. And they're all Terra's got now. And I think if some of them may choose to work together to resurrect Terra in some form, it'll look radically different from how it does now.
Mm-hmm.
if they do resurrect it. But as I said, I think probably a lot of those developers will be
snapped up,
working for someone else now, working on some other projects. And again, this is going to be some invaluable experience for those other projects. I mean, Terra is built on Cosmos, so will some other Cosmos projects. Cosmos itself has snapped up some of those devs. But there's going to be a lot of Terra devs out there with some really bitter first-hand experience of what this whole sort of situation is like. So again, I think in the long term, although it's hard to see it at this point in time, I think this is going to be, there will be some positives to take from this.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's something we should all bear in mind, especially those of us who have lost money, but I do appreciate that a lot of people have lost an awful lot of money, and I feel very, very sorry for them. It's a terrible time.
Yep.
But folks, life goes on and crypto goes on as well. And we are going into the weekend. Macy, what are you doing with your weekend?
I'm going to Spain.
Are you?
Yes, I am.
Wow.
Did I not tell you?
No, you didn't.
Right, well.
You can tell, folks, can't you, that I've really got a handle on how everything's running here. I'm the all-seeing eye of Sauron that sees everything going on at the Coin Bureau. You can't get anything past me.
Yeah, I'll be going to see my parents.
Okay.
Yeah, and then that's it.
Very nice.
Yeah, what are you doing?
I am going for a Turkish in Tottenham tonight.
A Turkish in Tottenham.
Yeah,
Okay, nice.
Tottenham
nice.
Turkish. It's going to be lovely. I'm basically going to load up on meat
Carbs.
and carbs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Carb fest.
I feel like doing the same thing.
Carb coin. You heard it here first. Yeah. And then what else am I doing this weekend? I don't know. Licking my wounds.
I'm sure.
Having a good hard look in the mirror. But yeah, I think I'm not going to spend an awful lot of time looking at my portfolio this weekend, folks. I've got a bit of work to do here and there, but I think I'm just going to ignore the portfolio because there's nothing particularly good in there at the moment. There's nothing that's bringing me an awful lot of joy.
Someone getting married tomorrow. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Wow. Whereabouts?
Happy news.
Yeah, some happy news. You see, there's plenty of happy news out there in the world as well, folks. Yeah, that's great news. Any idea where they're getting married? Don't do it, lol.
Don't do it. Jesus.
Guy, you had 10% in Terra and Luna UST. How are you? Bearing up. It wasn't quite 10%. If I had about 2.5% of my portfolio in Luna. And I had kind of 6 to 7% of the portfolio in UST. I liquidated some of that UST between 70 and 90 cents. So all in all, I sort of did a rough calculation. I think I've taken about a 3 to 4% loss on the portfolio over this Luna business. And yeah, it hurts. It hurts a lot. But again, as I said earlier, it points to the importance of diversification and also not investing more than you can afford to lose. So yeah, that's sound advice, especially for anyone new to crypto, anyone thinking of aping in and putting all their money on one particular coin or token. It doesn't end well, folks. So please do bear that advice in mind. Thank you for your sympathy, everyone. Thank you, Michael. Sorry to hear that. Yeah, well, it's crypto. I've taken losses before, and you do have to kind of roll with the punches when you're in crypto. It toughens you up. Dude, I lost more than 50%. Wow, that puts it into perspective. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear that, and I'm sorry to hear all these stories of people who lost money. Yeah, 3 to 4% seems like a bit of a hit for me, but yeah, it's a much bigger hit for other people. So please, folks, diversify. Don't risk more than you can afford to lose, and don't trade with leverage. Those are the 3 big lessons from this. From this whole incident. And a few people, I think, it's sort of there's been a little bit of concern around Tether as well, around USDT. And I saw Paolo Arduino, who is Terra's, is he COO or CTO? He was claiming that a lot of people were mistaking USDT for UST and selling out. Now, I'm not sure how true that is, although someone who shall remain nameless, fortunately not anyone in this office, I did waste 15 minutes of my life the other day on a text conversation with a friend of mine who was concerned and had basically, as I figured out, got their money in USDT, not UST. And I didn't really need that. But fortunately, their money was okay. But obviously, there is a little bit of concern around Tether at the moment, and there is. We've been worried about Tether for a long time, obviously, because we're not 100% sure what is actually backing it. It's had all these attestations, which are not full audits, however much they may claim, or people may claim to the contrary. So. Again, this points to, I think, the importance of diversification again. And again, this is a lesson that I learned pretty hard this week. If you're going to hold dry powder in stable coins, which I think is a good idea, you need to diversify those stable coin holdings. So please don't park it all in one, because that's the mistake that a lot of us made, and it's got a lot of people wrecked. So there are lots of other stable coins out there. Obviously, USDT is one, and it does have the best liquidity, and it is very useful if you're trading on exchanges because it's paired with pretty much everything. But there are risks. It is centralized. Another big centralized one is obviously USDC. Now, we're a bit more confident about the assets backing USDC. It has got this big company Circle behind it. So it's certainly legitimate, but that doesn't mean that it's 100% safe. You've also got other algorithmic stablecoins like DAI, which Do Kwon obviously famously said he was going after. I imagine I imagine there's a bit of Schadenfreude coming his way from that. So yeah, please, folks, if you are holding stablecoins as dry powder, then you need to make sure that you don't have it all parked in one stablecoin, and certainly not all in one place as well. Spread the risks, and if you're the best thing that you can do is get yourself a hardware wallet, or at least a very good mobile wallet, something like Exodus, or a hardware wallet like a Trezor, and self-custody. Crypto is very much about people taking responsibility for their own finances. And if you keep your crypto on an exchange, then you do not fully control it. What you have basically is an IOU from that exchange. So do bear that in mind, folks. I keep the vast majority of my crypto spread over several hardware wallets, and they're all in different locations, which I know can seem a little bit paranoid, a little bit tin hat, but believe me, folks, it gives me a heck of a lot of peace of mind. So again, I'm not suggesting that maybe you need to go to those sorts of lengths, especially if you've only got maybe a few $100s or so in crypto, but you do need to give some thought to keeping your crypto safe. And actually, it puts me in mind of something I read. Did you see that article in the paper the other day about people being mugged for their phones?
No.
Okay, so this is something I saw at the weekend, and I was actually going to do a video about it here on Clips and also TikTok. Basically, there's been here in London, which is there's a fair bit of crime here in London, but there has been a spate of people being basically mugged and made to unlock their phones, and then the thieves getting on their phones, finding their Coinbase app or whatever, and basically stealing their crypto.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So and what I was basically going to say in this video is that, and I think I will make one probably next week when we've kind of all moved on from Terra and Luna a bit. Yeah, it is scary stuff. So ask yourself, folks, do you really need to have your trading apps on your phone? And if you do have your trading apps on your phone, how much crypto are you keeping on those exchanges? Because remember, folks, cryptocurrency transactions cannot be reversed. The police won't be able to do anything for you. So please, I really, really consider self-custodying your crypto, maybe taking some of those trading apps off your phone. So if someone does get hold of your phone and does manage to get into it, they can't just easily transfer your crypto out of your wallet and into theirs and disappear with it. It's operational security, folks. It doesn't just apply online. It applies in the meat space as well. And I must admit that, up until a few years ago, this was something I did as well. I had all my Binance and various other apps. I had them all on my phone so I could trade on the go and all that sort of stuff. And then, I remember hearing a story. I mean, this obviously happens quite a lot, but yeah, someone being mugged for their phone and made to open it with their fingerprint. And ever since I heard that, I basically took all those apps off my phone. So yeah, I can only, and it's also very good as well, because it means that you don't trade too impulsively as well. If you want to get into a crypto at a particular price point, then you can always set a limit order on one of your exchanges in order to do that. So please, folks, stay safe. Don't leave anything to chance. Don't think, oh, well, that'll never happen to me, because the people who did get mugged for their crypto never thought it would happen to them. So operational security is key, folks, even in a bear market, because it would be such a shame for you to build up a nice stack and then have some scumbag steal it from your phone.
Yeah.
So yeah, 2FA on everything. Well said, Morpheus. Yeah, and if you are going to keep any sort of crypto apps or any banking apps on your phone as well, make sure you have two-factor authentication enabled. Make sure you have all the security protocols in place that you possibly can, because thieves will take any opportunity. So stay safe, folks. Stay safe, and watch yourself when you're in London. It's an amazing city, but there are some real nasty characters about. Yeah, and not just her. Sorry. You wouldn't mug anyone for their crypto, would you, Mason?
No.
I mean, we know you're a hardened criminal.
No, no, I wouldn't. I had my card pickpocketed, actually.
Really?
Yeah, near Christmas, near the station.
Yeah.
And I didn't even they did it so quickly.
Mhm.
I couldn't feel anything, and I was like, no.
Yeah.
So yeah, luckily because I was going onto the tube, I realized instantly.
Yeah.
So I just phoned
cancel it.
Yeah, but otherwise they could have gone and
just
taken.
bleeped it all over town.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone's saying avoid SMS 2FA, preferably use an authenticator app. Yes, absolutely. 100% seconded. Yeah. SMS two-factor authentication, you can fall victim to a SIM swap attack. I won't go into the ins and outs of that here. But yeah, an authenticator app, something like Google Authenticator or Authy, yeah. However you pronounce it, they are much better. They're not vulnerable to those SIM swap attacks. And I use two-factor authentication for anything. So whatever exchange platform or lending and borrowing platform, any sort of crypto platform or banking platform for that matter, that I log on to via my laptop, I always have two-factor authentication in place, folks. So yeah, don't leave it to chance. Stay safe. Mm-hmm. Okay, what's the time? It's 4 minutes past 4.
Yes.
Yeah, well, this has been slightly more downbeat, I think, this week than some of our previous live streams. As any of you who've tuned into our live streams before will know that basically we barely talk about any crypto, and Macy and I just throw a whole load of shade at each other.
I know.
And yeah, it hasn't really felt appropriate this week to do that.
No.
Because yeah, we're all, I think most of us, feeling a little bit glum about things in the wake of terror. But as we said, life goes on. Tomorrow is another day. Crypto is not going anywhere. Crypto is here to stay, and we are entering an interesting period. And we're entering a period where, if you invest wisely, if you invest correctly, then further on down the line, that is when you will make some serious gains. Now, I don't want to sound too hypey. I don't want to be one of those sorts of people. But yeah, the millionaires are made in bear markets.
Yep.
So bear that in mind, folks. Yeah. Do your research. Keep watching the Coin Bureau, because we're going to keep doing our research. If you thought, I don't know if some of you were thinking maybe this latest crypto crash could be the end. Maybe Guy will get too demoralized and go off and do something else. I'm afraid I got bad news for you. I'm not going anywhere. I'm like one of them cockroaches. Can't get rid of me. So there's some more bad news to end your week with. I'm afraid you are stuck with me for the foreseeable future. You're just gonna have to deal with that, folks. You're just gonna have to deal with that. Sorry.
I think people would be quite happy about that.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know what the comments saying. I think the bottom's just dropped out. Morale has collapsed. I'm so sorry, folks. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone.
Before you die.
What if you die?
Jesus.
Oh Lord.
Oh my God.
I don't know. Well, yeah, maybe we need to decentralize the Coin Bureau a bit more. I mean, I was talking about, this idea of is there one person in charge of one particular crypto project. Yeah, maybe I need. Should I clone myself? Well, you can. You could take over, Macy.
Me?
Yeah.
I don't think.
It's all right. I'm not the head of this snake. I'm just a foot soldier. Don't come after me. So thanks, everyone.
Yeah.
I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Chin up. Everything's going to be okay. It's a beautiful day out there. Everything's going to be just fine. Stay cool. Stay crypto. Are we going to live stream next week? No, you're in Spain. How long are you in Spain for next? Oh, I see. Macy work remotely.
I don't know.
All right. Well, listen, folks, more bad news for you. If we do a live stream next week,
that's good news.
Then it's just going to be me. So yeah, basically have something else.
Dial in.
You could dial in.
I could dial in. Yeah.
Wow. Do you think I can? Do you think
from Spain,
knowing how well I get on with technology?
Do you think you'll be able to handle that?
I mean, I feel we've done so well to get. I mean, we've got 2 live streams going here.
I could definitely dial in on TikTok.
This is a technological apex for me. I don't think I get any better than this. Maybe, folks. Maybe I also do have quite a lot of life admin to sort as well. So maybe I'll take next Friday afternoon off. But you never know. Anyhow, we will certainly be back for more live streams in the future. And hey, perhaps if we can't do it on a Friday, we'll do it some other day as well. Mm-hmm. Right. Thanks for joining us, folks.
Yes.
Have a wonderful weekend, everyone, and we will see you very, very soon. Yes, Many is really beautiful. No, it's Macy. The young John Cleese. There you are. You're very beautiful. I'm the young John.
I thought they were
Cleese.
saying I look like John Cleese. I was like, oh no. Shit.
Well, a little bit, I suppose.
Oh my God.
Draw a moustache on, grow an extra 4 feet, and yeah.
4 feet.
There we are.
Okay.
Bit of shade to
yeah,
end
the shade's coming.
Thanks for joining us, folks. See
Okay.
you all again very, very soon.
Bye.
Bye, Team Coin Bureau.
Boop. Okay.